Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Battlefield Artisans. Guess what? We have a new guest, our first guest on our series, and Jeanette is going to introduce her and what she's all about. So, Jeanette,
All
go
right.
ahead.
All right. Hey, everybody. This is Jeanette, and this is my friend Dorsey Smith. She is Air Force. Okay. We love her very much. We're Air Force. Even though we're Army, she's Air Force, but that's okay. I always say if I could do my life again, I would do Air Force. And then thinking about it, never mind. But I love you, Air Force people. We love all the Marines, Navy. We love everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, especially the mess hall.
Yeah. We're going to
They
have
had some good food. I'd have to say that.
And they got good dorms. They treat their women better than the Army. I'm going to say that. Okay, because in their Air Force, they can wear little studs. We couldn't wear that. Okay, they could have their hair in a ponytail, right, Dorothy? Y'all can have your hair in a ponytail. We couldn't have that. It had to be all stuck in a bun, So yeah, they didn't want no femininity showing on us at all. I wonder why. With Dorothy, I met her on a platform and a networking platform, and we were having so much fun, and we kept in touch. I know her for almost a year now, because she met me when I first started, and then we got reconnected again in another connection, and we went, oh my gosh, look, how you been? So we got on there, and Dorothy does taxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yep. She does everything taxes. She's also certified. I'll make her say her title in a minute. But Dorothy, we're going to have some fun in the beginning because Jeffrey and you can join in on the fun before you go ahead and take over the whole thing. We're going to go ahead and talk about the global silly awarenesses of the day today. And you can have a natural reaction and give us your opinion along with Jeffrey. I just say them. Jeffrey does not know what they are. Nobody ever knows what they are until I see it. Okay.
Or say it.
So here you go.
Mostly say it because I can't see it because you got it.
Yeah, that's true, and I ain't sharing. Okay, today, October 16, the awareness comes from today, the Today Show. And they have a national awareness. Every day there's something different that's being acknowledged or seen or whatever. Okay, so today, October 16, we have National Awareness Dictionary Day. I didn't even know they get awareness.
A dictionary? Does anybody own a dictionary anymore?
I don't.
I do.
Remember those dictionary salespersons? Where you bought the series?
My mother was into that. She would get a book, an alphabet a month.
Right.
They were expensive.
But no, then they had you went from A through Z, and then they got additional books each month for
world.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Okay. Next.
What was the name of that series though?
The World Dictionary something.
No, there. Dorothy, do you know? No.
Mm-mm.
All the schools.
The encyclopedias.
There you go.
I don't know. I just said something.
That's what they were. They were encyclopedias, not dictionaries. Encyclopedias.
Encyclopedias.
No, I can't say the word. Okay, yeah. All right. Next, Global Cat Day.
Global Cat Day. Yeah, I'm not really a cat person.
I'm not either. Well, I used to be. I have a beautiful cat, and she died. She lived for 19 years. Her name was Kitty Witty. She thought she was a dog.
Kitty Witty.
Yep.
That's a name.
Yeah. Okay. National Bosses Day. Now that one I like. Today's National Bosses Day, so we give our boss, Jenny, a big hug. Happy Bosses Day.
And then we're bosses too. We got our own business, so we're bosses.
Go ahead on with yourself. That's right. We're the boss day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give myself a hug.
I'm my own boss. So,
So today, so you gotta give yourself a hug. All right. There you go.
I'm my own boss. So
That's right. Jeffrey's his own boss too. Okay. National Department Store Day.
yeah.
Yeah, it's no more the mall. National
not
Department Store Day.
I'm not a shopper. So.
Yeah. Winn-Dixie. I know.
Okay.
Walmart. No. Well, Woolworth.
Woolworth, yeah.
That's
old store.
JC Penney's or
Right,
Sears.
So I think JC Penn was Woolworth. JC Penn. That's JC Penney's changed their Woolworth changed their name to JC Penney's, didn't it?
So we're gonna
They
have
used to be.
that because I did not know that.
I don't know. I'm just asking because I thought they used to be Woolworth. But yeah, that's an old store.
Yeah, I know. I met them. You know that they have a museum of Woolworth in Greensboro, North Carolina.
What? Wow.
And the reason is because something happened. I think I might be mistaking it with another national treasure. I think they were it was in the cafeteria of Woolworth or something like that, where African Americans went to sit down and eat, and they were like shown, and it came out in the newspaper, and it was a big headline and everything. I forgot that. Now I might be wrong. I don't want to say nothing, but it was in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I think it was in a Woolworth or right next to Woolworth, or maybe the Woolworth cafe. I don't know, or a cafeteria there. I know that it was there. I might know because I walked in, I took pictures, so I should know it, right? Yeah, no, my memory is pops. Anyway, so that department stores we don't see anymore. Now they're chains.
Yep.
But that's not even it.
And most of everything is online now.
Right. Okay, National Fossil Day.
Fossil?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Is that seashell?
Fossil is bones.
Who?
Well, it's not. It's maybe it's falsified or what do you call that?
It's you know what the diggers, they go into history, the historians,
Right.
and then they find these bones and they say this was a giraffe or this was dinosaur bones and all that stuff. Yeah.
Geologists.
Right. National Liquor Day.
A what?
National Liquor Day.
No, I don't drink. No.
Yeah, I don't drink, so I wouldn't know.
Well, that could be.
Okay, I don't know. All right, National Sports Day.
I don't like. I'm not a sports person, so.
My husband.
Yeah,
he's football, baseball. Right now, he's into both. So.
Yeah, I'm not. I used to be, but yeah, I pretty much I got better things to do than sit for hours on end in front of a TV and watch.
Right? I don't know how they can do that. Like I understand Super Bowl. That's the only time you'll see me watching the football game is Super Bowl because I want to see the halftime. That's all I want to do.
The commercials?
Yeah, the commercials are cute too.
Remember being? I can remember being deployed, and they go, "Well, what do you want? What do you want? Just send me a bunch of commercials on a tape. Like the old CDs.
Yeah.
And they'd send me commercial. The latest and greatest commercials. I'd sit and watch those.
Wow. Okay, National Take Your Parents to Lunch Day. That's sweet. I like that.
All right.
Yeah, I like that.
Take our parents to lunch every Sunday. You know how we used to take them every Sunday? We take them to lunch after church.
Well, actually, they took us to lunch.
True. But when I got older, I took my mom to lunch, so I played it forward.
Right.
Okay. World Allergy Awareness Day. Now, I got a lot of them. I'm allergic to everything green. Like outside, all the plants. And you wondering, I'm in Florida. I should know better. This is palm tree, oak tree, everything tree. And I'm allergic to it. But you know what? Woo, that medication works. So it's okay. All right. World Food Day. I could go down with some food. Who would do that? World Food Day. And that's saying the world. And how is what gets me upset, I was gonna say something, was the fact that not all the world is eating. So how can it be national, where they get food delivered once a year and dropped?
Right.
I have a lot of questions on that one. You know that I found out that if every millionaires and billionaires was to give only $1 million to the government a year, our deficit would be over and nobody would starve. Everybody would be okay.
Cool.
And you're like, right? Okay, the last one, World Spine Day.
Spine?
Spine, like the spine.
Right. Well, I you know what? I think, well, you can do 2 or 3 things on that one. People that have a spine, put your oh, oh.
Okay. So the spine has to do with the back.
Right.
Yeah. So why they have that, they should be every day to me. But that is our awareness day that we do every week. So now, Dorothy, go ahead and tell us about yourself, where you live, where you come from, how did you get into your business? Start from the beginning.
Okay. So I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm retired Air Force, so I did 20 years on active duty. And then when I got off active duty, I vowed not to ever work for anybody else. So I started my own bookkeeping and tax practice. But I got my master's degree in accounting when I was on active duty. And then, so I had the education. And so that's what I did. I just started my own bookkeeping and tax practice.
So, was that your background in the Air Force, personnel,
Yeah.
personnel
Yeah.
finance, stuff like that?
I was in
So,
accounting when I was
so were you
my AFSC was financial management, and I
okay?
did all accounts payable, accounts receivable, payroll, budget analyst. I worked in every department. So yeah.
All right.
I
Okay.
read in your profile that you went to a special schooling to get approved by the IRS. What was that title again?
Oh, so I'm an enrolled agent, just licensed to practice before the IRS. That's all. Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
This is a
so,
deal.
so basically, if someone has an IRS question or pending some stuff, they can go to you and you can help them out.
Yes, they can come to me, if so they can talk to me if they don't want to do it themselves and talk to the IRS themselves. They can talk to me. Some people want to do it themselves, so yeah. But yeah, if you don't, then you can talk to me. Yeah.
I just got $11,000 taken off my thing because it was all just interest and penalties. My original amount was only $5,000. I paid $4,000, right? In 2 years. I paid $4,000. It became $11,000. And I'm like, wait, what? I've been paying every month. This is crazy. I'm never going to pay this off. I'm going to die. So I decided to hire a tax attorney, and they were able to get me no pay, but I cannot work for 10 years. In other words, if I start working, I can start paying. But right now, because of the income, they go income debt ratio. So if your debt is more than your income, and I was paying them $300 a month. I don't know how that became. What on earth? And to this day, no one can give me an explanation of why the IRS decided to change my debt from 5 to 11. And it all started because I worked in a school system, right? And they didn't have taxes taken out. And instead of telling us, they give us our checks. And I was like, what's this? They said, well, you got to have taxes taken out. Well, if I don't know what taxes I do take, how do I do that? So they decided to pay us a 1099. It was a private school. And I was like, wait, that's not the way it works. You take out the taxes and I work. It was really tricky, and she got away with it, but it was illegal or something like that. I don't know. And but they don't go after her, but they came after me like you would not believe. So in that situation, would you recommend that people come to you instead? Can you do those type of things?
Yeah, I can do that. I can tell you what the problem was too.
Okay.
The problem is if you're on a 1099, you are responsible for your own taxes.
Right. But I didn't know that. I was a newbie at 1099 work. So I
Yeah.
want to know why my 5,000 became 11,000 when I was making payments every month, and I had 3 accounts, like three years. I lasted with the school 3 years.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to do that. Let's be realistic. I don't know how to take out my own taxes. Now
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
So,
but I tell people you are responsible. The IRS holds you, the taxpayer, responsible for things that you should know. You're supposed to know that you are responsible for your own taxes if you are 1099. You're supposed to know that.
yeah, but not in the school, because as a teacher all the time, my taxes were taken care of. So if you're
No.
working in the school system as a teacher and you always get your taxes taken out, all of a sudden you get this 1099. Like, what's this?
Well, you gotta ask questions.
What's 1040? You know, I began to ask questions.
Yeah, you gotta ask questions.
But see, still my question wasn't answered. Why did my 5,000 become
Because
penalties and interest?
Penalties and interest accrue every day. It doesn't matter. Payment plans, I mean, to me, you're going to be paying that for the rest of your life. That's the whole point. They call it a payment plan, but keep in mind the interest and the penalties is going to accrue every day until you pay the entire balance. That's where that came from.
See, it's not like a credit card. You get it once a month. They're doing it every day. That's how they get away with it.
Credit cards do too.
Oh, every day?
Daily. Look at it.
Oh my God.
There's a certain percent. Like it says 29. You know, if you reach a point and it says 29%. But like I said, once you get to that point, you know, each day is an increase that you didn't pay off the balance and stuff like that.
Yeah, it just gives you the total. It'll say 29% APR, but go back and look. That's a daily. That's APR they giving you, but look at it. That's the other thing too. I decided to pay off all my debt in 2018. I have no debt, and that was a big life changer for me.
Wow!
Right.
Because I know how all that stuff works now. It's not designed for you to get ahead. It's designed to keep you where you are.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Now, do they have special programs for veteran-owned businesses, or no? It's just straight across the board. Business is a business.
What you mean when you say special? I mean, who are you? Who have special? Are you talking about the IRS or?
Yeah.
Or.
Yeah, the IRS, or no? It's strictly just straight business. This is what you made this year. This is what you owe.
Yeah. This is. Okay. Well, it's not like that. Well, because if you're talking taxes now, I can go into a lot of detail.
Yeah, we don't want to do that on this show because you got a million one questions, Jeffrey.
Yeah, right.
Let me tell you something. Jeffrey, get ready to write this down. Where can we find you? Like someone says, hey, I really need her. I like her knowledge. I want her to help me because I have some problems. Where they can hire you and where can they find you?
So, I'm on Alignable, which is where I met Miss Jeannette. Right now, my website is down. So I'm having problems with my website, but I'll give you my number. It's my number is 901-810-8100. If you want my email, I can give you that too.
Yeah.
Okay. My email is Dorothy. That's my first name. DOROTHY at DMSBIZHELP.com. So that's my email, and you can email me. And like I say, my website is down, but I got my profile up on Alignable. I'm on LinkedIn and I'm on Facebook.
Okay, Jeffrey, you want me to share this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got her up. All right. That way people can see. All right, here we go. So we have the tax prep service, Dorothy enrolled agent, Memphis, Tennessee. As you were, she got local business person of the year 2024. So that's good. 2024 community supporter and onlineable. And she's also highly recommended with 25 local business owners. And she has for her, I love always reading the referrals, the comments. So she has one that she spotlighted. Can I read it, Dorothy?
Yes, go ahead.
It says, spotlight. This comes from Angie Tony from Angel Financial Services. Dorothy is a very talented professional. She is dedicated to providing quality deliverables to her clients and stays on top of what required training to ensure she is giving the best. Her clients are blessed to have her. That is a beautiful recommendation. And, that is just awesome. And then you can tell, click to reveal the phone. Again, is this the phone that you have on here?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's it.
8100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not everybody can get to Alignable. Not everybody is part of this community. So if they wanted to reach you, the best way would be by phone or email. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And as you can see, she has a lot of type of referrals. Her credentials: I am resident enrolled agent, master's degree in accounting and financial management, DeVry University, bachelor's degree in business management, Park University, volunteer income tax assistant program, VITA. What is that exactly?
VITA is a volunteer income tax assistance.
Mm-hmm.
And I volunteer because I love taxes so much. I volunteer my time to file taxes for low income, for people that just can't afford to pay a regular tax person.
You know what they call that? You're a blessing to others who need that help because they don't know where to go to. And I'm hoping that anybody watching this on TV knows that if you have your own business, for all our small crafters out there, you need somebody and you're just not making it and you need some advice or you need to hire someone. Here's Dorsey Smith, and she is Air Force, and we love our veterans, so we always try to highlight them. And Service Corps of Retired Executive. That sounds, woo, girl, what's that?
SCORE. That's SCORE. Here it is again. I volunteer my bookkeeping and tax services to help small business owners who they probably just can't afford to hire a bookkeeper or a tax professional. I'm in that program so I can work with them on that part of it. But SCORE offer a lot of different services. They do websites and social media and business plans. And that's just to help the business owners who really can't afford it. It's a free service. So again, I volunteer for that. But I just do the bookkeeping and tax part of it.
Girl, with so many free stuff, do you have any paid clients? I mean, we need to send people your way.
Yeah, I have paid clients, but this is what I like to do. It's not, it's not about the money for me, But yeah, I have paid clients, but I love what I do. That's the whole point.
When you love what you do, it's not a job. That's all I gotta say. When you love what you do. Okay.
So yeah, I have paid clients. But what I was gonna say too with VITA, there is an income limit. So
okay. And associations, you belong to the American Society of Tax Problem Solvers.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a good. Now, being a tax person yourself and a tax rep, do you have to get certain certifications to be in all of these associations?
You don't have to really be, well, I'll say in Tennessee, because I know some states require you to be certified to be a tax professional, but you don't have to be certified to be a tax professional, but to be an enrolled agent, you have to be certified. So that's, but yeah.
This is very interesting. I
So,
learned a lot today from you more than
yeah.
anybody else.
So basically, you're certified in all 50 states.
Yes, I can work in all 50 states.
Now,
Oh
now,
my gosh, that is a
you,
blessing. You are a virtual tax person, pretty much.
Yes,
right?
because it's an IRS certification. So that's why it's good in all 50 states.
Okay.
Okay, are you
Now,
listening?
is that yearly or is that quarterly or like every 2 years, 3 years? How many times do you have to get certified? Or
Oh, so so you take the test once, but we have to get certified every 3 years, and we have to have at least 72 hours of continuing education in those 3 years. So it's 24 hours a year of continuing education that we have to have to maintain those licenses. And then we just renew them every 3 years.
I'm
and you take those courses online or do you have to be in person?
Yeah, you can do online or in person. They have them now. Everybody's going back to in person, but you can take them online too.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm telling you, we hit the jackpot of gold with this one, okay? Because Jeffrey, anybody who's small business, small veteran-owned business, I already got, okay, Claudia, Dorothy, I already got someone telling me that they're going to be using you. So
Okay.
get ready for that one. And let me repeat that number for people who are watching, because this is the main purpose that we do this show, is to help veterans like yourself get recognized and get seen. And her number, if you want to reach her, get ready to copy, everybody, is 901 810 8100. I'll repeat it one more time before the show is over. But I already got, people already texting me here. I wish we had a way where people can, talk to us on Facebook and online. Do you have your Facebook? Not Facebook, but the YouTube, right? Something on that. What you got connected?
I got both my Facebook and my YouTube connected,
Okay.
and then the TV's live.
Okay, and the TV's live. Of course, they can't reach out and touch someone on the TV,
Right,
But,
right.
this is something that if you want to reach her, just go ahead and give her a call. I mean, this is super. We business people really need people like yourself to teach us all of this about. I learned so much. Like, I didn't know that's why 11,000 became 11,000, because they do interest and penalties every day. That's crazy. It's like, you might as well go ahead and take out a loan and just pay it all off. You'd rather pay the loan than the IRS, because they'll come for your stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So I bet you that $300 you was paying was going to either interest or penalties, because that's what they do. When you send in your payment, they apply it to the interest and penalties first before they apply it to your principal.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
this is like a mortgage.
Yep.
They pay your interest on the mortgage first, and then once you hit that plateau, then it goes more towards your principal.
Right. And then they the other thing is they apply it to the first year that you owe. So I'm gonna just say if you owe 2020, well, when you send in a payment, they're gonna apply it to 2020 year. I mean, so you'll never pay that stuff off, and that's the way it's designed. It's designed that way.
Yeah, and that's how it became mine, $11,000. And I'm like, where and how am I gonna pay this if you keep doing interest every year? So because of the income, if they don't work with people and that's the way they operate, how is people supposed to get out of debt? I'm just saying, how do you get out of this debt unless you hit the lottery or something? Yet they're going to take their money first, before you even get a penny of that lottery. But that's an example, which is one in a million that we even hit that, even if you do play it. So it goes to show you that basically it's just hard to get out of it. So your advice is that if, let's say, you owe $200 on a tax, just pay the $200 off and get it over with. Don't be playing.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that, but then, so I tell people too, Very simple. If you're an employee, you should not have a balance due. You're an employee and you have a balance due to the IRS, go and change your W-4. It's got something to do with how you are filling out your W-4.
And I agree. My husband right now is fighting with the company, and they tell him, you know, you're not taking taxes out. I need you to take my taxes out and put zero. You know, take my taxes out, and they haven't done it. He's very upset, and he don't know what else to do. He's told them over and over again to take taxes out. What can he do in that situation?
He's got to go. You can't tell the company to do it. They're not gonna do it. Go and fill out the W-4 yourself. Fill it out. Get the W printed off online and fill it out. Put
everything
on zero.
Right, but everything they have and do in these companies these days, when he's tried to get them to do it, they don't. Everything's electronic. They don't handle it. Another company does. So they're no longer. I mean, the world has changed. It's no longer like I can go to my boss, give me a W-4, and you change it. It's not like that anymore. It's not.
You still can fill out the W-4 and give it to your human resource department. I mean, like you said, I don't know because I don't work for anybody. But what I will say is if you're an employee, you should never have a balance due. It has something to do with your W-4. Yeah, that's where it starts. Yeah. Now, if you're a business owner, now it's different.
Yeah,
now, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jeannette.
If you're naive like me, one company, 1 year, I think I worked like part-time. I don't even know what it was. And I'm right. Yeah, it was a school actually. And I was looking at it and I'm saying, why do I owe back taxes? And I said, I filled out my W-4. It says zero. Oh yeah, and this is how they're doing it, and this is what I'm saying. It's no longer like it used to be. No one even called me and said, hey, you have no taxes coming out. And I didn't notice because everything is electronic. You don't get to see that pay stub. This is what I'm saying. You don't see the pay stub. I just got a deposit. So I'm thinking all year taxes are being taken out. And you get everything is electronic. And
I know. I see what you're saying. You don't see, but what you do see is the W-2. The first year, you see your W-2 with no taxes withheld. Right. Then you need to address it.
Right. And I did. I also left. But they didn't do it for the whole year. And it's not, and that's what I'm trying to say. Companies nowadays, because everything is electronic in everything. It's not like paper before. They say, yeah, we mailed you, but you got to sign in the system to get your pay stub. It's not like you get everything like in your face like you used to. You have to be, and imagine, now this is out there, and I'm telling you from experience, that I'm a very smart person. I consider myself I never paid taxes in my life. Always I had money coming back to me. I started paying taxes when everything went electronic. Because I wasn't aware. And you got people like myself that are 70, 80 years old. Everything is electronic. If they don't know, and they still have to work these poor individuals, okay? They don't know, where do I sign in? What do I do? They always have to find somebody to help them because they don't know. Because it's not like it used to be before. You get a paper check, you get to read. I still have my pay stubs when I was 12 working. And I can see how many taxes it was really funny. My whole paycheck was $120. And I was happy. I was 12 years old. No, 14, 14. New York, you could work at 14 years old. And I was happy. Gave my mother, I thought I was rich back in those days. I was in 70 something. Okay. And you get that paper. But because today, everything is electronic. Like people don't even write checks anymore.
No.
They have direct deposit.
What do you mean? I'm somebody.
Well, let me just say this: the IRS is gonna hold you responsible. That's all I want you to know. So that means that you have to find out.
Yeah.
Because They're gonna hold you responsible. So that's the whole thing.
I remember.
They're not gonna hold your payroll company, your HR company, your bookkeeper. No, they're gonna hold the taxpayer responsible.
Exactly.
So,
and all they told me that the company, it was a school, they told me is, oh, I'm sorry, I do see here that you wanted 0 taken out. I thought it was 0. You didn't want any taxes taken out. So if you got idiot people who are working and saying, oh, I'm sorry, well, then they should be held responsible because I did it right. You did it wrong.
Nope.
And because I know in my mind, I did it right, I'm not going to question when I get my paycheck. My paycheck is my paycheck.
Sure.
And I don't see it. And I don't even get to see the pay stubs because you got to go to a code, and that code got to be verified by your phone. And the phone, once it's verified, then you got to go back into that code. Then you're over here, you got to get into the system to see your pay. And then you got to download that pay and make it in PDF and then save it on your desktop and then make a folder. You see what I'm getting at? It's ridiculous. Just give me
you do that or you pay the IRS. You can make the choice. You have to figure it out. That's the way it is. I do a lot of stuff I don't know how to do, but you have to figure it out or you're going to, these taxpayers. Let me say this. The IRS is cracking down, y'all. So you got to get it together. They taking everything that's not nailed down, okay? So you got to get it together. So,
I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm medically retired from active duty. Mm-hmm. Okay. I have disability pay, which is non-taxable, right? Mm-hmm. I have my VA disability is non-taxable, and I have my combat injury pay that's non-taxable. Should I still file for taxes?
Well, no, you got non-taxable income. Do you have any taxes? So you're running a business, right? You're self-employed?
Right. But
so
for last year or two, I make under $5,000 a year.
Oh yeah, no, you don't have to file if you don't want to, but
is the max?
I recommend filing if you're self-employed because
what is the minimum? What is the minimum yearly that a person should file, or every quarter? Because they do it every quarter, every 3 months.
Well,
let's say if a person makes $200 in a year, do they have to report that?
You don't have to, but I recommend. So, I recommend filing the tax return if you're self-employed. Now, if you're self-employed, or if you're getting a W-2, the IRS already know. But if you're self-employed, I recommend filing a tax return. And here's the reason why. The IRS can come back and say, how much you made for 2020, and you tell them, oh, I don't know, I didn't file a tax return. Well, guess what? Guess what you open yourself up to? Now they can estimate it, and they're gonna put a tax bill on you so tough. How you gonna pay it? So now you don't have proof that you didn't make that money. You can say, well, I just made $5,000. They're going to tell you to prove it. How you going to prove it if you never filed? You can't. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to make it up. So now they can say, oh, well,
I got Square. I use Square, so I can print out a Square. This is what I mean.
Yeah.
And they'll say $25. Okay, give me $5. They're greedy.
So now your other income, you're right, that's non-taxable. You don't have to worry about that. But I always recommend filing if you're self-employed, filing your Schedule C. You have to have proof. I mean, the IRS is not going to accept you didn't make any money. They're not going to accept that. So how you going to prove it? So.
All right. Well, looks like you might be getting a phone call.
Yeah. So that's what I'm.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to get off the hard subject of taxes and give Dorothy a break. Now we're going to talk about what's happening in the military times, okay? And this is, we're running a little bit over, but that's okay. I'm the producer, and I'm going to say we're going to go on and moving on. All right. So today we have a lot to say. So Dorsey, thank you so much for your information. Is very important, and I don't think anybody knew that, so that is very important. Now going back to the military times, and in the military times, I get it, actually it's called the militarytimes.com. It's for all the branches of service, and they're talking about this month your 2024 military times pay and benefit guides. Now, skyrocketing costs nationwide for housing, food, and other necessities have prompted defenses officials and lawmakers to make major changes to pay benefits for troops and veterans over the past several years. Service members saw 5.2 pay increase in 2024, the biggest annual bump in 22 years. And I loved it. That if when you're 100%, I think you got an extra $300 on your check, on the monthly, check that you get. And that was on there. The basic allowance for housing increased by 5.4% on average. Defense officials are also expanding some benefits to improve the quality of life for service members and family. Like, to me, that should have been something they should have been doing anyway.
Or every year.
Right. Why? Give me a break. Okay, whether it's healthcare, retirement benefits, family support, childcare, VA benefits, or a plethora of other programs, getting smart about rewards you have earned is worth your time. And this was written by Karen Jowers and Leo Shane and Megan Myers. Then they write, basic pay on the rise. Service members saw the biggest pay raise in 22 years this past January. The pay bump 2025 likely won't be as large for all troops. Now, here's the good news. In 2025, we're getting another raise. Okay? And that's good to know, because somebody did tell me that, but I don't believe anybody until I read it for myself. Okay? So we are getting a raise, but it's not going to be right. But it's not going to be like January 2025 that we saw that big paycheck. No, this one will be like $25 maybe. Because I just have to be honest. But some junior personnel could get a windfall of lawmakers followed through on recent promises. Basic pay is determined by a person's rank and length of service, with automatic raises when troops meet certain time and promotion markers. Congress also determines how large of a pay raise all troops should receive each year. Now, get ready for this one. The figure is tied by law to anticipate increase in a private sector pay, but lawmakers in the past have approved bigger raises to help the recruitment and retention, or smaller raises to save money for other military priorities. What those priorities are, they're not saying. But here's the thing. They got money every year to give us a raise, but they didn't. They waited 22 years for them to give us a raise?
Yep.
Nobody sees something wrong with that. They'd rather give it to fix the toilet seat. How much is that toilet seat? Don't get me.
Well, or a hammer, or equipment.
Or a hammer, equipment. Come on now. Okay, the most junior enlisted service mate. You can. And the reason why I'm telling this, because a lot of people say, "Oh, they're military; they set for life."
No, we're not.
No. Okay. Don't let me get started, Jeffrey. Ooh, Lord Jesus, help me catch my tongue in. Don't let me start with the health care that we get, okay? Don't let me start with that. Let me tell you something. Yep. Okay. Lord Jesus, forgive me. Okay. In the health care, I was getting better treated when I was on welfare than I was in the VA, than I am in the VA. And let me tell you something. Jeffrey and I are still waiting for certain things to come through that we're waiting. Okay, and this is me. I'm getting a little flustered, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to keep reading this. Bring it back in, Jeanette. Bring it back in. Tell me, Jeffrey. I'm going to
I got to reel you back in.
Okay. Okay, the most junior enlisted service members make around $24,000 a year.
That's below. That is below poverty rate.
Yes. Think
That's
about that, people.
25,000 is the poverty rate for
Yes.
for the
And they
nation.
make that a year, not including allowances, special pay, and other benefits. While
Yeah, that's just your base pay. That's
base
just your base pay.
24, who can live on that?
But
Okay.
but
Well, but
you
they
gotta
can though,
understand that.
because they don't have to. They don't have to pay for housing and food, and
But
so
that
But
pay
but
was
no,
given
now
in
if they're
1985.
married and live
Sorry.
off post, you see.
Say that again.
because we couldn't live off base though until we was E4 and above. So
Mm.
that sounds like they might be less than E4, and I
Right.
don't know the other branches, but the Air Force is not gonna let them live off base.
Okay. See,
Even
what
if they married, they in base house.
oh, okay. But see, not an army. I mean, maybe E2, like if you're active duty, something like that, maybe you can, you're going to live on base. 24,000. Oh,
Back in the day, I had to ask permission to get married.
what?
Yep.
Okay.
They needed to make sure that I was able to afford my wife.
Yeah, 24,000 though is,
No.
if you
I
don't
mean,
have
and today,
what,
it's
it wouldn't work
it won't go
on
very
the
far.
regular. It wouldn't work on the regular economy, but
Mhm.
it could work on active duty because I was there. So
Active duty in a housing, I can see that. But that 24,000, that was back in my
Because you got
1980.
your meals paid for.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, we had to buy our uniform, but we got clothing allowance. But yet, what are you going to do with, I think at the end of the year, I think we got $37 for clothing allowance.
Look,
That wouldn't even buy my shirt.
Okay. All right, here it is. While enlisted troops nearing retirement typically earn about $70,000 annually. Nearly, that means you got some rank now, depending on where you're going.
Right.
And that's enlisted. We're not talking about officer yet. We're gonna get to that in a minute. That's just enlisted. So we're looking at the sergeant, command sergeant major. That's an E9. That's the top of the enlisted. Okay, command sergeant major.
Actually, that would be a little bit more than 80,000 if you're if you're a command sergeant major or sergeant major.
I don't know. I'm going by what is read right now. Supposedly, this is done
Okay.
like this month. Okay, and I know that if you're active, you also get all those benefits. Okay, officer pay is significantly higher. Junior officers earn close to $40,000 a year, while senior officers nearing 20 years of service can make up to excess of $170,000 a year.
Hey, that's a congressman's pay.
That means that even a small change of anticipated pay raise calculations can make a big difference for military families. The annual military pay increase takes effect in January each year. We didn't see a pay raise for 22 years. When did this take effect each year? Did you see a pay increase?
I mean, each year. Well, each year you got like 1.5%. 2% pay raise each. Huh?
So barely noticeable. We got $1 increase.
Right.
And they call that an increase.
Well, I mean, like you said, it's
Okay.
we're the only country that makes our service members pay taxes. You know that?
I did not know that, but I believe it. Okay, the White House issues its target for the hike each August, either going along with projected rise in private sector wages known as the Employment Cost Index and offering justification for proposing a different rate. Congress has the final say, so that's why we're broke. In the past, lawmakers have overridden Lawmakers have overridden attempts by the White House to submit lower pay raises that will save money for other priorities. But in recent years, the executive and legislative branches have been in sync on the annual pay raise. I'm sorry, the only pay raise I've seen that was really huge for us was the January that we had this year, that we had $300.
I've seen a couple.
I haven't. Targeted pay raises. The military pay raise usually applies equally to all troops. So lawmakers made an exception on the height of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan to provide more money for some mid-career service members to help them with retention. So what they're doing is, remember when they offered you, hey, you're gonna get you get this in the Army. We used to get money to be in the same RS to re-enlist. So we'll give you $25,000 if you stay, and you won't get it now. You get a portion now, portion on the third year, and then the rest when you at the end of the year. So that $25,000, you wasn't getting it right away. They break it in 3 payments.
Right.
Okay. The thing is with MOS, I was one of those because I went and I went and I asked for school benefits and all this and that. I went in. I'm glad I went in the 80s. They offered me a lot of benefits for money, schools, my children's school. I mean, I got everything for them. Okay. Let me see. So the newest service members would be guaranteed an annual base now salary of $31,000 a year. The plan ultimately failed in Congress. That's what they were. So they're still getting paid $24,000, and they wanted $31,000 for the pay enlisted. Okay, and they said no. Imagine that these people are risking their lives every day, working every day to the Army, and they're getting paid $24,000. But members,
people that are on society that are in welfare and that is making a lot more than that.
Right. And don't let me start.
Right. But so.
Okay. So far, the White House has not supported those plans. Officials have pointed to an ongoing military compensation review by the Pentagon leaders that is scheduled to be completed in early 2025 and have pushed to delay any major military pay overhaul until then. Troops should know that congressional pay proposals are likely to be at the center of this year's Capitol Hill debate by early summer. House and Senate lawmakers are expected to spend most of the summer negotiating that authorization bill with an eye towards final passage ahead in November presidential election. Even if lawmakers do adopt major changes to military pay, the decisions are unlikely to take effect until January 2025, the earliest. Okay. And you were right. You were right. Since the start of all volunteer military force in 1973, Congress has authorized a pay raise of at least 1% for troops every year. So that was the 20 cents that I saw extra. That was a pay raise. That's exactly what it is. Hey, I got an extra 25 cents. Where's this coming from? Okay.
Or like you said, it takes you into that next tax bracket, right, Dorothy?
Right. And those increases have grown now to 2.5% more since 2018. The 2024 pay increase, which took effect January 1, 2024, was 5.2%, the largest bump since 2002 and the second biggest boost in 40 years. The 5.2 pay boost matched the federal formula based on the annual employment cost index calculation and somewhat offset concerns about covering increased living costs over the last few years. I am not going to say a darn word.
You got that.
Because this would be lasting 2 to 3 hours, and I don't think people want to hear me complain about what the military doesn't do. So I'm going to stay at peace and say the Lord is going to take care of me, and whatever happens, happens.
Right.
But I do believe that we need to be better taken care of as 20-year service members who deployed. Okay, because me and you both deployed, and Dorothy, I know you deployed. Did you deploy? No, you didn't deploy. Okay, we deployed. But we did 20 years of service. We gave you 20 years of our lives, and we 100% disability, right? Disabled. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got issues. But you know what?
Well,
That's a
I
good.
mean, but like you said, though, for as far as Congress or the Senate or the White House or whatever,
Mhm,
they can go by a swoop of a pen. They can automatically give them pay raises, no matter what.
mhm, mhm.
Like this. Whoop, there you
Okay,
go.
so
There's
Sarah,
25% pay raise.
right.
Or but I mean, I did multiple deployments.
Me too.
I was in Panama, I was in Bosnia, I was in Kosovo,
Mhm.
and then I was in Iraq, and that. So, but you sit back, you see all those deployments and all those, you know, and being tax exempt in those theaters
Mhm. Mhm. Here's
and
something
that. So,
you should know, and I don't know if people do this, but when we were deployed, when I was deployed in Kuwait, they had, first of all, we didn't have like the Air Force. The Air Force, they had their own rooms. We do have, oh yeah, she didn't deploy, but they had their own rooms. Okay, us Army people, we had a warehouse. Okay, you gotta go.
yeah, I go. All
Okay,
right.
thank you so much. I'm sorry we kept you, but thank you so much for visiting us. We love you. Thank you, and I hope you get a lot of
Have
calls.
have
Okay?
fun in school.
Yes, have fun in school. Bye.
Bye.
So, okay, she was great. Okay, and here's the thing. When I was deployed in Kuwait, okay, contractors, civilian contractors. So you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. They were getting paid double than we were. They had contracts
Sometimes triple.
$180,000 a year. I had one guy in my unit, ETS out, came back as a contractor getting paid double than what he was going.
Right.
The contractors don't have a common weapon. They don't have a weapon on them. Explain to me why they were getting paid double when we're the one risking our lives. You know?
Because they had a contract with the government, and the government paid it, and so so I mean, like you said though, like for me, okay, look at me, okay. When I was deployed, and there were civilians there with the Blue Star and stuff like that, so we weren't authorized to drink, because we had the rules of Iraq, drinking, and but what went behind closed doors was a little bit different, But these civilians, I'm working in a vault, all right, getting secured messages coming in and going out and stuff like that, and we had civilians come in and for backup, and so they would come in drunk and pass out in the vault. And then I'm like, hold on here a minute. I'm like, get out of here. Just get. Yep. I'm done with you guys. And
Okay.
and they're making, like you said, double or triple.
Double.
And
Yeah.
that. But I mean, like you said, rules are, like I said, a big learning experience, and that. So, from when we first invaded Iraq, and then when we were leaving Iraq, the rules of engagement and stuff like that were like night and day. I can remember being escorts to some civilians running ammunition, from the bunker, from some of the bunkers, and that going to FOB Spiker and stuff like that. And
Well,
I mean,
we already
but
know. But yeah, we
so,
already
but
had our time. But you know what? This could be a nice
way over our time.
No, we got it. We're good. And I just want to say thank you for everyone. Sorry for my going down the rabbit
Squirrel
hole.
moment.
Yeah, squirrel moment. But
Or the rabbit hole moment.
I'm not the only one
We're
that
good.
feels this way. So anyway,
Right.
but Jeffrey, thank you for having our guest, and we thank Dorothy. Please call if you got any text questions. You got it.
Most definitely. And that. So let's see if I can. And with that, I would like to say thank you for watching. Stay tuned for our next week, Wednesday at 3 normal time, hopefully.
Yes.
And that we'll hopefully have another guest to come in.
Yes.
And that. So until then, keep safe and keep your thumbs up.